Distinguished Toastmaster Debra Sanford has been in Toastmasters for over 15 years. During this time, she has been a member of 6 different Toastmaster clubs in 2 different districts, District 25 and District 50. She served in several district leadership positions, from Division Governor, Town North in District 50, to District Conference Chair in District 25 for the Fall 2012 Conference. She has also served as Quality Contest Chair and TLI Training Chair as well. She is currently serving as President of Top Flight Toastmasters out at DFW Airport, and is an active member of Grace Toastmasters, a co-sponsor of the workshop. So Deb gets up early on Thursday mornings for sure. We asked Deb to be our first speaker in order to get this workshop off to a rousing start. Please help me welcome my friend and colleague, Distinguished Toastmaster Deb Sanford.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, Toastmasters. I'm excited to be here today. Are you excited?
Yes.
Did you bring your toolbox?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You did? You did? You'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have some tools for you to use. Do you have anything like this in your toolbox? This is a tape measure. Now, to measure is one of the basic tools of math. For Toastmasters, the basic tools of good public speaking is the evaluation. In the evaluation, you use all the tools to create an effective speech. So today we're going to look at some of the tools that you can put in your own little toolbox. And by the end of the day, you will have some tools to use. Now, I created a little handout for you, a little card handout, and I hope you will enjoy using that. Let's get started. So what is an evaluation? What is the purpose of an evaluation? This is where you tell me. You can read it. That's right. This is out of the Speech Crafter Manual to help people become a more effective speaker. And then out of the Competent Communicator Manual, that has a more elaborate definition to help people develop speaking and leadership skills by actively listening, by offering useful advice, and motivate them to work hard and improve. Now we're going to work on all of these today. And then finally, in Art of Effective Evaluations, to help people become better speakers and better leaders too. So what do speech evaluators do? Know the speaker's objectives. Now we all have manuals. If you're evaluating in a speech in a club, you have the basic Competent Communicator Manual. MJ, would you hold that up, please? The basic Competent Communicator Manual, the 10 speeches, all have a speech written form at the end of each speech. You should be familiar with that. If you're asked to evaluate somebody in a club, review what the project speech has them do. What are the objectives? If you do not have a speech manual, there are other manual forms that you can obtain. If your club is efficient, and they should have some blank manual forms that you can obtain off of the website. Now, in your handout, there are some manual forms that I pulled off the website. You can actually pull off all the Competent Communicator speech evaluation forms. And there are also standard forms that you can receive at TLI. Toastmasters International has some standard forms. All these are excellent forms. And they all are a little bit different. There's one in there from a speech champion from out east that is very effective, I thought. You take a look at that. But we're not going to be talking about the written evaluation. What we're going to concentrate is the 2 to 3 minute oral presentation. The oral evaluation is actually an impromptu speech on its own. It is your opportunity to demonstrate your own speaking skill, where you identify strengths and areas for improvement for the speaker. Not only that, but you use tools and structure to make your speech an effective speech. So that's what we're going to be talking about. That's what you should have in your toolbox. What do speech evaluators do not do? Do not stand up here and read the answers from your written evaluation. You don't have time. In 2 to 3 minutes, there is not time to answer all those questions to start out with. But this is your speech. Do not get up here and reiterate the speaker's speech. The audience has already heard that. They want to hear from you. And lastly, do not criticize or evaluate content. Boy, believe me, you do not want to do that. The last time I competed in a speech evaluation contest, I totally forgot. I got so involved with the speech, I started talking about her content, totally forgot to evaluate her. That was a big failure. Don't do that. So what can you have in your toolbox? I got my little toolbox here. There's a lot of tools that I use that I have gleaned over the years in my many TLIs and my many club evaluations, teaching the Evaluate to Motivate forum. There's the 321S. How many of you use that? Have you heard of that, the 321S? Okay, so that's the most popular. That's the basic form. How about codes? Content, organization, delivery, effect, summary. Has anybody used that one before? No? Okay, so you get to learn something new. The gift. The gift is actually an acronym. It's the same as the 321S. The PI, or the T, or how about the GROW? Has anybody heard of the GROW before? That's because that's one I made up. So let's look at these tools. Okay, you have a card, and I designed these cards to be actually used in a contest or in a speech evaluation to fill out as a form. The 3-2-1 approach is the standard approach, and actually is the basis for all evaluations. Every evaluation should have a 3-2-1-S. You identify 3 strengths, 2 ways to improve, what is their strongest strength, summarize, and close with challenge and praise. This is the basic one. It's the one that's most often taught. And again, it should be the basis for all evaluations. If you don't have these items in your evaluation, then you have not done a proper evaluation. The GIFT approach is actually the same as the 3-2-1-S. It's an acronym. It stands for great. Find something, 3 items that were really great about this person's speech. 2 areas for improvement. What is your favorite item about that speech? And T, thank them for sharing their message. And always S, summarize with close and praise and a challenge. Now why would you want to close with praise and a challenge? To encourage them, that's right. You always want to leave that warm fuzzy inside of them.
And on a positive note.
On a positive note, that's right. The 3-2-1 or the GIFT approach is often called the sandwich method, which is the same idea. You start out with positive encouragement, you give them some meat, which is your areas for improvement, and you close with positive praise and encouragement, the sandwich message. Now the code has been around for a long time. Some of you have heard of it before. It stands for Content, Organization, Delivery, and Effect. And I put an S on it because we always want to summarize. Now think about, when would you want to know about the content and organization of the speech? What kind of speech would that fit? What's that?
Second CC content, organize your speech.
Organize your speech.
If someone was doing a practice speech for something they were going to be delivering to a work group or something along those lines.
Technical speeches. If you're giving a technical speech, you want to know, was my content on target? Was I organized? Did my delivery reach the people I was trying to reach? What kind of effect did my speech have? This is a very effective tool for advanced speakers or technical speeches. Engineers love it. Right, Lawrence? Where's Lawrence? I saw, I heard, I felt. This is actually very old too. In fact, this is the one when you go out to Toastmasters International that you'll see on their website. I saw, I saw you when you came up here. I wasn't sure what you were going to do, but you were so professional and you were so polished. But when you opened your mouth and started to speak, your story reached out and caught me. It was a hook. I heard you use rhetorical devices. I heard you speak in a well-organized way, and I felt encouraged. I felt educated and learned. This is a very effective organization for your evaluation, but it's kind of difficult too, because where are you going to put the 3, 2, 1? You're going to have 3 areas of greatness, 2 areas of improvement, your favorite part, and always summarize and praise. Where do you think you would like to use this speech, this evaluation form? Demonstration speech? That's more. An icebreaker, very effective for an icebreaker. What other kind of speeches? Inspirational speeches. I saw you come up here. You inspired me. I felt inspired. Your stories touched my heart. If you're giving a motivational speech, a humorous speech, these are the things you want to hear. Did I touch you? Did you hear my stories? Did it click? Very effective. Now this is one of my favorite ones. I call it the tea or the pie. I actually learned this at work in a leadership workshop. And it's a great way if you're leading a group evaluation. And I like to use it when I start out every evaluation. I just sit down with a piece of paper and I write a big T. Put all the pluses on one side, put all the negatives on the other side. I put little deltas underneath, and I put my suggestions for improvement, and summarize on the bottom. And the thing I like about this is it's a good way to organize your thoughts. So you're concentrating on listening and not on answering the questions on the evaluation form. We do that afterwards. And you can quickly look over the T, star your 3 great items, and you already got your deltas for your change suggestions for improvements. So you can take that, evaluate, and figure out, what kind of speech is this? What kind of form am I going to use when I speak about this? I love the T. Okay, the GROW method. Have you ever heard of the acronym GROW before? You have. Where have you heard it, Jamie? Where did you hear it?
A few minutes ago.
A few minutes ago, okay. I actually, very good. I stole this idea, well, I borrowed it from Inside Out training. Acronym stands for goal. What was the goal or purpose of this speech? R, reality. What did they really accomplish? Where are there opportunities for growth? And wrap up. Summarize with closing praise. I really like this method. I had attended the Inside Out training at work. It was the day I actually heard Mark Fenner give his first icebreaker speech in our club over at Flower Mound Toastmasters. How many of you heard Mark Fenner's championship speech last year when he competed in the... Chuck heard it, okay. I was rather embarrassed when he talked about my evaluation. But it was very surprising to me because it's the first time I used this GROW method. Because when he got up here and gave his icebreaker, he was really, really nervous. He not only introduced himself to the club, but something happened. His goal was to introduce us, but in reality, he inspired us. He started out giving us speech number 1 and ended up giving us speech number 10. And he made me grow. And this acronym just fit the speech to the T. I got up here. Mark, you got up here, you were going to introduce us to the club, but in reality, you inspired us. You lifted us to a new plane of thought. Let me tell you 3 great things you really accomplished. Boom, 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 3 great things. You have some opportunities for growth. You were a little nervous, I noticed. You'll get over that. It just takes practice. And 2, you didn't know where to put your hands. We all get into that big leaf pose. Just let your hands relax. In wrap up, I'd like to say you really made me grow today. You had reality, you inspired me. You had 3 great things. Just work on these opportunities for growth, and you got a great speech, and you're going to be a professional one day. And what do you know? He is. I just paid $35 to listen to him speak last week. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Really? Okay. Now those are some tools to use, but don't get caught in the trap of getting so hung up on your style or your format that you forget the basics. And what are the basics? These are the tools you find out in your manual. In your competent communicator manual, don't forget to address their objectives in your speech. Don't forget the organization, body, conclusion. Identify the speech's purpose. This can help you figure out which kind of tool you're going to use to give your evaluation. Is it a speech to inform? Is it a speech to persuade? How about, are they trying to get me inspired? Did they really inspire me? Or did they just want to entertain me? That's important to know. And also, don't forget to cover the basics. I had to laugh because just recently we had a brand new member of our club, and he gave an icebreaker, and I got really, okay, I'm practicing my evaluations, and I'm gonna do this really complicated, really fun little structure. And I gave 3, 2, 1, put it in a cute little acronym, talked about the gift he gave us. And then the general evaluator got up, who was another brand new Toastmaster, and he said, "You had great eye contact." I forgot to mention he had great eye contact. Eye contact, vocal variety, these are the basics. Don't forget to use them, especially with brand new Toastmasters. And in your club, you want to touch on all these because not only you are evaluating the person who spoke, what else are you doing?
You're educating the club.
You're educating the club, exactly right. You want to educate the club. Every evaluation is an opportunity for us to grow. So you want to cover those very few basics. So I want to talk a little bit about other tools. Have you ever heard of the acronym SCREAM? Jamie knows that. Yes, just now. Actually, I learned it from Randall Harvey, World Championship speaker. He came to our conference a couple years ago in D25, and I had the opportunity to have lunch with him. Actually, I bought his CD, and that's where I heard it. For the first time, that is where I heard it. This acronym stands for those little rhetorical devices. So have you done the Competent Communicator Manual? Who's completed their Competent Communicator Manual? Have you done speech number 4? Have you read speech number 4? That's where you learn about using rhetorical devices. It's one of the very basic tools that we use and learn first in Toastmasters. Simile. Did the speaker use similes? Did they compare two objects? Did they put that into their speech? C. Compare and contrast. Did they use comparing and contrasting in their stories? Rhyming. If you've done the reader's manual, interpreter's manual, I used one of the speeches, Green Eggs and Ham, for my interpretive reading. Rhyming is a very effective way to capture your audience. Echoes, alliteration, metaphors. I encourage you to take these out and become familiar with these rhetorical devices. Metaphors is one of the most common and used. Alliteration is a lot of fun because that is repeating the initial in several words in a row. The hallowed halls of Hogwarts to protect, preserve the peace. Using this alliteration, what this acronym SCREAMing does is when you're telling a story and you use these rhetorical devices, you're reaching your audience on a different level, a subconscious level. And what it does is it actually grabs your audience and puts them in the story. An effective speaker will use rhetorical devices, and if your speaker uses these, recognize it. Not only does it encourage them, but it also instructs your club and the audience. Yes?
Is echo just kind of repeating what they said in a different way? Is that what echo is?
Echo would be like a chant. Repeating a phrase, a chant, using the same phrase over and over again. I have a dream. That is an excellent example of echo. In your handout, there are some examples of these different rhetorical devices. We don't have a lot of time to go into this, but feel free to use your handouts, and on the resource page and on the Evaluators Workshop website, these tools are out there so you can download them and look at them and study them. And again, go ahead and read your manual, your CC manual number 4. It has some good explanations of these rhetorical devices. So in summary, let's just kind of go over the tools again. 3-2-1, or the sandwich approach, 3-2-1-S, you would want to use, when would you use it?
Always.
Always, that's right, you said always. All right, you get a star. 3-2-1 is the basics framework for any evaluation. You always want to do the 3-2-1. There's the simple 3-2-1, there's the gift, which is the same as 3-2-1, tell them 3 great things, 2 areas of improvements, your 1 favorite thing, and thank them. Wrap up and summarize. The code. When would you want to use the code? Technical speech, that's right. Talk about their content, their organization, delivery, and effect. But again, you need to put your 3-2-1 in that code somewhere, and you've got to figure out where to put your 3-2-1. Where would you want to use saw, heard, felt? Inspirational speeches, icebreakers, humorous speeches. Tell them how they touched you. They want to hear that. So what about the pie or the T approach?
Work group.
This is a good summary for a work group, and I like to use it to organize my thoughts. I don't want to speak to it, but again, the pie, praise, instruct, encourage is in all the types of structure. And then the grow. When would you want to use the grow? Motivational speeches. You know when I use the grow? I use it when the speaker really surprises me. When I hear a speech that just knocks my socks off, I'll talk to them and I'll tell them, your speech touched me in a way that made me grow. Let me show you. You started out with a goal to give me a technical speech. You're going to teach me all about this new thing I've never heard of before. In reality, you motivated me. You changed my life. And let me show you some things that I saw that you did great. You do have some opportunities for improvement. Watch these 2 items, but in wrap up, man, you nailed it. You inspired me. You made me grow. Thank you. So, now you have the basic tools. I suggest that you prepare your own little toolbox ahead of time. You can gather the forms you want to use. If you want to use some basic forms, they're all out there for you. But I suggest you get a small little notebook or note cards when you get up and speak. You don't have to put them in a little box like this. I only did this just to encourage you, to show off. Use the T or the pie just to organize your thoughts. And then the tool or methodology you're going to use to present your speech, your impromptu speech. And then using your tool as an outline. So one thing you noticed about all these tools that I've provided for you? They're summarized. They're all acronyms. What are you going to do if you forget your toolbox? Remember the acronym, right? Your toolbox is up here. That's why I put all these in cute little acronyms for you. Actually, I stole them from other people. But hey, they're great ideas to use because I don't know about you, but sometimes when I stand up, my brain falls out. Does that ever happen to you? Oh my goodness. You ever stand up to give a speech and you just forget totally? That has happened to me. So I have all these little cute little ideas and things I use to get me organized. So don't forget your toolbox. Use your tools as an outline. Just get out there, act enthusiastic, and have fun with it. You know, when you get up and evaluate in your club, I suggest that you practice and pretend this is an evaluations contest and do your very, very best. But when you get out there in the evaluations contest, you forget that you're in an evaluations contest and pretend you're in your club. Just get out there and have fun. Good luck.